At this note, we're going to switch to our kind of main topic. The New World 2023 roadmap was released last week. If you guys haven't had a chance to see it, it's detailing out spring and summer 2023. And they go on to say, like, not everything that, is coming is on this list. Obviously, anything can be subject to change because game development is hard. But what it gives us is a couple things. What we know for the spring is that we're going to get a new expedition, the Ephirian Forge. They're going to add the gear set storage system. So that's the loadouts overall. But it's, when it comes down to naming, this is New World. A dungeon is an expedition. Loadouts are gear set storage. Then we're going to get the Springtime Bloom event and MSQ improvements, which they talk about, like how we saw in the fall from 1 to 25. This looks like it's going to take us from 25 to maybe 35. So it could be possible that, every year they're just going to continue to refine that main story quest all the way up to 60. And then Brimstone Sands already has that as a part of their storyline. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Now, in the summer, they're adding in a transmog system. And what they said about the transmog system, Chris, is that it's a collection-based system. So a lot of people are thinking World of Warcraft system and hopes that they also add in a little bit of like ESOs or Black Desert Online's system when it comes to dying. They're adding in the raid groups and the Sandworm raid. They're also adding in Cross-World Outpost Rush, and the Summer Medley Affair event is going to be returning. And so on all those things, it's like, man, it's a pretty decent list. But with all things online, not everybody is happy with what they've showed. We haven't seen what they're showing for the fall, so they only showed the first two kind of seasons of 2023. And there's a big thing that's missing on that list. Can you guess what was the big miss that they did not include on that roadmap?
A new zone?
No. No PV, like there's no PvP update.
Oh, there's no PvP update. Oh, it's something that's already in game. Okay, I assume there's.
Well, like a lot of people were speculating, are we going to get new maps for Outpost Rush?
I don't think you put that on our roadmap.
See, I don't think you do either. But it's like, regardless, though,
that was all new features.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the roadmap about what's being added, but people are mad that they didn't talk about what's being adjusted. Because wouldn't you also want some of the taxes and stuff? They said that was going to become an ongoing adjustment. PvP would obviously be an ongoing adjustment. Weapon balances.
We know territory changes are coming. We know all these adjustments are coming. I think it wastes a lot of space to sit here and talk about the adjustments. It does help to say. Go ahead.
It's not an exciting reason to return either.
Yeah.
That's like literally saying, and in 2023 we'll fix the things that are broken. Like that's not like why would I come back then? Like I guess I'll see you in 2024. Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't. That's a weird thing for people to.
It is the internet, though.
If you're going to make the slide that small. Now, if they had an 80-point list that went all the way down to like fish drop rates, and then it didn't include PvP adjustments, there would be a real concern there.
It feels like I want patch notes for March now. Let's go.
Yeah. That's very different.
Yeah.
Right. So like when Yoshibi had a roadmap that was like a 5-hour presentation. It had a lot of detail, but a lot of these roadmap presentations are just a slide like that. They talk for 20, 30 minutes. They say they're excited. Thank you for the support. And they bail out. But, and so like in that case, like, that's not 1 year's worth of work. Like, there's other stuff going on.
Yeah.
And you base that on the past. Like, what have they done in the past? How often have they balanced PvP in the past? How often have they adjusted bugs in the world in the past? If there's a duping bug, how long did that take them to fix? So like, that's where trust is earned. Obviously, New World can only have built so much trust. They're very young. That's what I would base that on. I don't think that's a big deal at all.
Now, would you consider like new PvP modes themselves considered as new features?
A true new mode? Yes. Like a capture the flag? Yes. Yeah. But there was like an arena skirmish thing on there. What was that?
Maybe pull it back up. Let's see here. Arena skirmish?
That's what that looked like to me. Well, elite trial. What's a trial?
So that's the raid. That is the new raid. So the Sandworm Elite Raid is being bundled with the raid.
And what's
groups.
Outpost Rush?
Outpost Rush is their level 60 PvP.
So there's your PvP. So when they add something,
they're adding cross world so that Outpost Rush isn't directed based off the server. So that's what that means. So we know that cross server play is coming to the game, and now we know it's coming summer 2023. Which from like when they were talking about it, I was like, yeah, I would add 9 months to as soon as they start actively saying like we're working on this. That's a 9-month feature. We also know, like, because we know that controller support's coming natively. That's coming from the game director himself. We know that mounts are coming. We know all these other things are being worked on, but like in terms of like development and how those get rolled out, like that it's a process. So it's not going to happen overnight. And so then, yeah, when it comes down to it, yeah, I think you're right. Like I think adding in another map for OPR or doing, balance adjustments and like bigger quality of life features, like
Okay.
those are going to get more focused in on the dev updates and not say, here's our roadmap. The other thing that's also missing is, like I said, fall 2023. And go ahead.
Yeah. Final Fantasy did that too. They had a 10-year roadmap presentation that did not present 10 years worth of information.
Yeah.
It was really front loaded. So here's my question.
Okay.
Do you remember the 2022 New World roadmap?
Yes.
Was there anything substantial, like an entire new way to play or a new feature that was added in the last year that was not on that roadmap?
Yes. And we done, so in 2022, we got 2 new weapons and a new zone.
That were not on the roadmap.
No, they were. We got the music system as a part of the kind of the crafting or the et cetera. So you level up your music skills. We got that, and that was not on the roadmap. That was a surprise. And that's, to me, that actually communicated a lot because originally they didn't say we've got other things we're working on that we're not telling you about.
They just dropped them.
Scott actually said that this time. He's like, we have other things that we're working on that we're not sharing on this roadmap for you guys because we want to surprise you. And it's like, cool, that sounds great.
Was there anything on the 2022 roadmap that was on there that ended up being delayed into 2023?
No. The only thing that got slightly
Then
delayed.
People need to calm down.
Yeah.
Then people need to calm down. In the past, they have always hit their target or above. Okay.
The only thing that shifted that Scott apologized for was the leaderboards were set for the Brimstone, but they're actually here this week. So they're still a part of the technical fall.
Within the same.
It's still fall.
They're the one that chose calendar year.
Yeah.
Still within the same season.
Yeah. Still within the same season as well.
All right.
So it's like, hey,
then that happens.
That's fine. Like, okay. And honestly, it's like, take your time. If it needs a little extra work, I'd rather it work right.
As long as extra work isn't a year and a half, like that's fine.
And if it's that long, well, then there's bigger problems.
Then I don't see anything here except good news. People just need to calm down. I understand that, like, I will never have success as a content creator on Twitch or YouTube
because you're reasonable.
Because I don't want to sensationalize things.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not a big deal. Like they showed me a great target. It looks good. They'll probably do some stuff that's not on it. They will guarantee do everything that is on it. They'll probably keep maintaining the game in the meantime because they have a history of that. If they do more fresh start servers and stuff, they'll probably keep spinning up servers because they're Amazon.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like there's not news here. It's like I didn't cover like the last 3 things that happened in the 14 community because I didn't think they were newsworthy. And then I go look at all these other channels and like there's all this discussion and there's all these views and there's all this traffic. And it's like, well, that's what I get for not being excited about, I guess, what I thought was nothing, but I was wrong. Like I'm not hyped about enough stuff. I don't know. Like it sounds like cool. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, you're like have someone whose blood sugar is just normalized all the time. You're like, yep, I've got even killed, man. Smooth seas, feeling fantastic.